Good morning, everyone. Welcome to FYI. For your information, I'm Joretta Fernandez alongside Sharon Duncan this morning. Good morning.
Happy Friday.
Good morning.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday, guys.
It's TGIF, that's how we like it. Best
Happy
days
Friday.
ever.
Thank God it's Friday.
And we are
Happy
here
Friday. Yep.
making sure that we bring you the information as credible,
Valid,
as they
incredible
come.
information.
Unscripted information, The
Yeah.
discussions are going to unfold. Yesterday, particularly, we went into a lot of issues in depth, and today I intend to do nothing but that. Make sure that we incorporate your comments and your feedback into our discussion, and so that we will have an extremely wide platform of discussion.
Tomorrow is going to be pretty unscripted too.
Well, tomorrow is going to be quite a day, and Sharon speaking about tomorrow is the seventh, the seventh conference of the Alliance for Change.
The seventh? Oh,
yep.
You had me there for a second.
Seventh.
What's the seventh?
No, the seventh
National Conference.
Biennial Conference.
Yes.
Yeah. Guys, it will be, I'm going to say biennial just because it happens every other year. Mm-hmm. Guys, it's going to be quite a day, the elections are going to be happening tomorrow. Elections for leader, chairman, vice chairman, and general secretary of the Alliance for Change. I know my colleague Sharon Duncan is contesting for the general secretary of the Alliance for Change, and I myself, I'm contesting for the chairmanship of the Alliance for Change. So it has been quite an amazing. It has been quite an amazing journey thus far.
Yes.
When
it's getting interesting.
Politics and all
getting
of that.
Interesting.
But we definitely, when it comes to internal party politics, I mean, that's my passion. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm even at this platform every single day to make representation for people, and that is done through the Alliance for Change, because that is the party that I represent at all time. Guys, it has been quite interesting thus far, and I know we'll be giving you updates as they unfold tomorrow at that conference.
Correct.
Liberal democracy. Everyone has the opportunity to step forward, to add their voice to the cause, and to make representation for the people. And that's what we do. And we're going to be doing it best tomorrow, when the liberal democracy takes the form of a vote for persons to vote in leadership that best represents their cause, persons that are not afraid to go out and speak out and represent the people that which we attest to serve. Yep. Sharon, what are you doing? You look a little distracted.
I'm seeing we're trying to get through some of the accounts. We haven't gone through all of them.
I see.
So we're trying to
I started working that out. I see the folks joining us from YouTube, Tommy Gibbs and Shakira Phillip. Some guys, make sure that you do your part and share the live stream this morning.
Smash that emoji button for us.
Smash the emoji button. Shara just said it.
I was looking at the numbers there and I was wondering what was happening, but I realized now.
Okay.
We haven't gone through all the places, but we're coming.
Oh, yes, we're coming.
Ricardo
Charles, good morning to you, Ricardo. How are you this morning? I hope that you are all having a fantastic day today. The morning is young, very, very young.
Believe it or not,
it is. We have been doing we have been up since the crack of dawn. You will not believe how early we get up in the morning in this place. You will not believe it. Trust me.
Yes. Very early. Go ahead.
Yes, and folks, we're still getting through to some other platform. We share across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. We're working on actually having the stream shared over a wider scope of platforms. But as it is right now, we are limited to those, and Sharon is working on that as we speak. Nevertheless, persons are going to be able to come back from those platforms that hasn't been shared as yet, and have the credible information sent dispersed to them. But in the meantime, let me know, the folks that are joining us right now. Let me know how is your morning been going, and let me know where you're joining from.
And welcome to folks who are now joining us. We're now getting through to some of the other places.
Oh, great!
So welcome officially. That's the thing about doing live stream. They say every live stream is a different one. You can't say because you get it right yesterday morning.
Yes.
Right morning.
Correct.
It's always some little thing to tweak, to move, to adjust. That's the nature of the business. I think we're now getting through to some of the other pages.
Yes.
And that's what's happening on that front.
Yes. Good. Excellent. Because I see Julian Mars joining us, and Maureen Chester Paul, Roxanne. I'm seeing you guys also. Sean is in the comment section. Sean Carter is watching from London this morning. Rashford is sending some googly eyes there. And Randy Cole, I'm tuned in. Randy said he's tuned in with us this morning.
Welcome, also. Randy. Welcome.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is such a blessing to be with you this morning in the land of the living.
Yeah.
A land
fired up,
well,
ready to go.
Thanking God for health
and
strength and making sure that we do our part in stepping out. Lending our voice to the cause and making sure that we help to amplify your voice as well. So much work to be done. Yes.
Fired up. Good to see you guys and happy that you guys are here with us. It's Friday, but not because it's Friday, we're tracking down. Friday, heading up to 5th gear. And there's a big day coming up tomorrow. The Alliance for Change biannual national conference comes up tomorrow. So even more fired up,
Great. And I'm seeing in the comment section, I'm seeing Candace Chan saying good morning, Gerard Shared and my FYI family. It's a beautiful sunny morning in Orlando, Florida.
Wow, enjoy first, Candy. Candy, enjoy Orlando, Florida for all of us. Yeah.
For all of us. Candy is up and about it today. Roxanne Garwa here. Roxanne, good morning. How are things over there? And I see Dawn Cook. What am I just saying?
Dawn Cook. Same thing. Dawn Cook.
Just switching your name about.
Same thing.
Marl Joseph.
Yep, is here as well. John Sullivan, Rudy Hines. Good folks.
All the folks are coming through.
Good folks.
As fast as they possibly can.
Good to have you folks. Patricia San is here as well. Pinky Kerr is here as well.
Yeah, so for the folks that are just joining, we were just discussing that tomorrow we're having a big day. Tomorrow is the 11th of June. Tomorrow, the Alliance of Change is going to be meeting for its national conference there tomorrow. And quite an interesting day as the Alliance for Change, the delegates will be electing a leader, chairman, vice chairman, and general secretary of the party, along with 12 executive members. And those elections are going to be held, should be in the afternoon tomorrow. So should be in the afternoon.
You gotta wait and see what happens.
Right now.
It can start early in the morning. I'm so fired up.
As it pertains to the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, we're fired up and ready to go on that front, and we are very happy. I think we are very humbled by all the encouragement that we have been receiving thus far from persons. It's very humbling, to say the least, and to know that people trust you to go out there and represent them to the best of your ability. It's something that I don't take lightly.
It's rewarding work. It's rewarding work.
Very much so.
It's rewarding work being out here every morning with Lynn Fernandez is here.
Hey Lynn, how are you doing?
Hey,
how are you doing?
Pollyann Schultz. It's rewarding being here with Gwyneth Anderson and Yulene Reed.
Siobhan and Siobhan.
Nice people. Nice people.
Said, love you two wonderful, inspiring personalities. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm blushing now. My head can't get bigger. Oh, don't make it get bigger.
You're looking pinkish there, Sharon. Pinkish. Watching from Carmichael Street is Mala Pandey. Hey,
Mala, how are you doing?
I see.
How are you doing, Mala? Great to run into you the other day. Ran into Mala the other day.
My goodness. And,
so happy,
Dawn, and I see Dawn Cook. And Dawn actually shared this contestant for the general secretary position, and myself, I'm contesting for the chairmanship position of the Alliance of Change. So we're going to see,
we're going to see how it comes out.
A lot of work to be put in, but we're geared at not only this election is just the first of many to come. Then we are expecting a larger scope, a local government election.
Yes, there's that.
Then thereafter a national election, and we need to. Everyone.
So it's one walk. Bop.
Yeah, everyone needs to be in tip-top shape and in that frame of mind to be ready at any point in time to handle any one of those elections. It's very serious business as it pertains to internal politics, because it's just setting the platform and infrastructure mechanisms in place altogether to make sure that the right people are in the seats to handle what is to come. But guys, we love each and every one of you, like we keep saying consistently, and we encourage you to do what you can do. Make sure you start by sharing the stream so that other persons can get credible information. It's absolutely important. I see Alec Powell saying Bartica in the house, pace and power. Hey, good morning to you, Mr. Powell. Those are folks that mentor me. Like if they know it. If they know it or not,
you know, Mr. Power, you make
if they know it or not,
you make
they mentor me. It's just amazing when they come on and have their input.
I see Malapande says the AFC must stay with the app. I believe so too.
Yes.
Let me register my feelings publicly. I believe so too.
Coalition politics has proven to be the way forward.
I'm 110% coalition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think coalition politics, and this is weird because I know that I hadn't made a public pronouncement on my position on the matter, but I think it is that time that persons know where you stand with it, and we understand the dynamics of politics in our country and where we came from, and more importantly how we need to change the scope of things and moving forward for a better Guyana. And I see coalition politics as being the way forward. We can't speak about inclusivity and all of that, not willing to be inclusive in the governance system that which we support. And because of that, I am pro coalition politics altogether.
Well, to your thesis, I can provide the executive summary. I'm 110% coalition.
The executive
110% coalition.
To this altogether. I see folks in the comment section there. I see Paul Casad and Esther Blue. I see Gwyneth Anderson. We see you there out there, guys. I'm so thankful.
Esther Blue, I see you.
So thankful that all of you make the time to come out and view the program so early in the morning. It means a lot to us.
Cyclotech.
Kylotech.
Kylo.
I was wondering if there's somebody new. So, if there is a new name like that. Tessa Isaac, how are you doing this morning? I see you, Glaston Matthews.
Elizabeth Norine is here.
Oh, hey, Elizabeth.
It is irrelevant as a person. One can look. Who Elizabeth Hughes?
Early, guys. It's too early to
don't bother with them.
Don't fight nobody.
Don't bother with the trench crab pose and the jacobats. You know.
Stanislaus Washington is watching from Sutherland, England this morning, and these are. I feel particularly blessed to have those persons schedule the time.
I saw a comment just now. Let me see if I can catch it back. A coalition comment.
I am not sure. I'm not seeing it. The comment goes by so quickly, guys. We're supposed to be having a special guest in the studio this morning also. Let me just put out.
Marlon Thomas says that I agree with everyone. AFC should stay in the coalition.
Yeah. And coalition politics is quite unique. And I think the mechanism that was employed and actually worked out, I always say, and I made a reference yesterday when I say you can't keep using 1960s policies in 2022. And it's the same thing when it comes to, from my view, when it comes to politics altogether. There are so many guidelines and you can use from the 1960s and all of that. But you have to have very innovative mechanisms in dealing with the structure that is today, the people of today, the technology of today. And because of that, everything needs to be tweeted. You need to tailor everything to suit the time that you're in, and everyone needs to be willing to innovate and change.
I think I'm going to tweet that. I'm 110% coalition.
Sherrod is not deviating from
110%
from his executive summary, as he put it over, right?
Executive summary. 10%.
Correct. Guys, we are here to serve you. This morning, information sharing, I know Sherrod did all the heavy lifting this morning.
Usual. We got to carry some people. We got to carry some people.
Sherrod did all the heavy lifting this morning.
I don't know, but
I feel a little attacked by that.
I thought with all the heavy lifting, they said deserve a hot cup of tea. I don't know. This tea put iced tea to shame, This tea put icy to shame. I don't know.
I think I had blackout or something.
When I taste this tea, a poem of Martin Carson comes back to mind. It starts, "Jail me quickly." Cold tea said, "Jail me quickly." Clang the literate door if freedom writes no happy alphabet. Carter was a boss. Yeah. The boss. When the morning papers for us, Twitter.
I'm not sure, Sherrod.
You're not sure? Please, let's find our notes. I think Georgie got his drum roll, and then there's nothing there. I'm not sure, but I think we got a couple of things. I think so. Couple of things.
Guys, I'm not playing with you.
Anytime today, Cheetah. Anytime today.
Trust me. Sometimes my computer does its own thing. This is one of those
computer
mornings.
like owner.
This is one of those mornings. I'm literally on my computer.
Computer like owner, doing its own thing.
So let's start this discussion.
You think you're ready now?
I am positive.
You sure?
I am positive. Right. I am ready this morning. Positive.
Have a good day.
Yesterday we had a discussion. I want to start off from that premise.
Yesterday
we had a discussion as it pertains to the report that's coming out specifically from Region 5 and the division commander up there, saying that in cases of statutory rape is just mounting so high, and basically persons young people engaged in sexual activity under the age of consent. And I have to start by that, because we were looking at structures altogether and the challenges that young people have to face today, and the difficulties in the fact that we need modern mechanisms to actually address these issues so that we can curb the overarching effect of it in our society. And one of the things after we left here, for me to see videos circulating online, specifically about an air gun being found in a child's bag at school,
Lodge Secondary.
Yes, Lodge Secondary School, guys. Students found with air gun at Lodge Secondary School. And it goes back to the conversation we were having yesterday.
So you hold the fort for a second. I'm gonna have to this thing.
Are you gonna do it for both of us?
I'm gonna go on the forward. How to this? You want me to have to play TV?
Yes, I do.
All right, I got that for you. Right. So you hold the forward there. Lodge Secondary School. That's when the students went. Apologies, folks.
Look, it's 3 minutes.
Yeah.
On the timer.
Because I paggle, yeah.
3 minutes on the timer.
Great.
Guys, so let's get into this discussion. And I definitely want to hear your feedback as it pertains to this particular conversation. And because the reports is that, that the student was found with an air gun at Lodge Secondary School and 2 suspected gang members arrested. And this is something that is as real.
My mic is still hot, so you might hear me.
As real can be. And we definitely cannot just not address this head on. Young people today have challenges that young people 20 years ago did not have. Young people today have access that young people 20 years ago did not have. And young people today, a lot of them are unsupervised as opposed to the young people 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we had some communities that were so tightly knitted and all of that, that even the neighbor is assisted to supervise the children. And this is a community, you see somebody's child going the wrong way, you were there, pull them up, speak to their parents and all of that. Today we're living in a society that a lot of people are not even familiar with the person that lives next door to them. Persons that are living in apartments don't know the people living in an apartment next to them and all of that. It's a different mechanism, and society is structured very differently today. And because of that, there are negative influences that are seeping in, that persons are not equipped, if I dare put it that way, with the knowledge of how to handle it. I keep telling people, when it comes to music is extremely influential, and we need to be very careful about the music that young people are listening to today. When it comes to the internet altogether, those are things that have extreme benefits, but with those extreme benefits comes negative externalities as well. And we need to be, as much as we want to open our children up to and expose them to receive the benefits of all these modern technologies and so forth, we need to also realize that we need to protect them from the negativity that they're exposed to when they are utilizing such platforms. It is not okay, and it's not okay for young people to be here and actually be in the school system. I'm a little distracted by one of the comments there. My apologies for that. It is not okay for young people to be in a school system in which they believe that they have to be gang affiliated. It's not okay for young people to be in a school system in which they believe they have to take a weapon to school, either to harm someone or if they believe that they need to protect themselves from someone harming them. Whatever the reasoning that they put in their head, is it just to have to be affiliated, to have a hype, whatever it is not okay. And this is a situation that is not the person's problem, that, oh, well, it's not my child, it's not my problem, it's everybody's problem. When the youth of today is involved in things that can negatively impact on their life, it is a concern of every single member of society, because once one person's in trouble, everyone is in trouble. We have to address this head on. I see Oswin is saying it takes a village, and that's absolutely correct. It takes a village at all points in time. We cannot just say, well, that's the students of the Lodge Secondary School. And I want to disarm anyone of that thinking, if they have that thinking altogether. This matter that we're looking at, I mean, the school is being labeled a Lodge Secondary School, but don't for 1 second think that if you don't have a child at Lodge Secondary School, that is not your concern. That if you're thinking like that, just stop it right now. The children that are within those schools, they associate on a larger scope with children throughout. The platforms that our children utilize, they don't deviate and differentiate between which secondary school they're in. Those platforms are targeted and their target persons of specific age groupings. And I want you to be very, very clear of that. When things are happening on the internet, it goes in age bracket. That's how those folks are targeted, regardless of which secondary school they're, regardless of whether or not they're in Queens College, Lodge Secondary School, Commons Lodge Secondary School, 3 Mile Secondary School in Bartica. It doesn't matter. Things that target the mentality and the psyche of our young people are designed in the scope that they go geographically sometimes, and more specifically, it is age affiliated. So once one youth is being affected and things are being designed to target their age, then every youth should be concerned with that matter, and every parent should be concerned also. So we have a situation at hand right about now that is not Lodge Secondary School's problem. It is our issue. Each and every one of us there. It's our issue. That's why I always say, and sometimes I think people get it and it rubs off a little wrong when I say the systems of young people on the road committing crimes and all of those things is a mechanism and it's a structure. And we need to dismantle the entire structure. It's not okay for you to be saying, oh, somebody's snatching a chain on the road and you leave it as that, when the person snatching a chain on the road is actually going to an established business and selling the chain off. And then you, with your nice job and so going to that established business and buying a chain that you don't know was snatched off of somebody's neck. So we have a larger issue at hand. But when it comes to gangs in school, let me say this, right? Let us dismantle this nonsense from home right now. Let us dismantle the system from the type of music our children are allowed to listen to within our home circle. It is not good for you to be allowing your child to infiltrate for negative, violent music to infiltrate their minds.
You shush,
let them
protocol 100 strap. Protocol.
You know, I actually didn't even remember it at the time, but that is what it is. That is what it is. And you know, young people, we have to talk to them. You know,
true.
We have to talk to them. Don't talk down to them, but have a conversation with them. You know, what is going on? What is it? Is this affiliation, this hype that you feel that the desperate need to be associated with it? If you're not hyped up as this thug, or quote unquote, as they're saying, a done thug,
correct,
then something is wrong and persons are not going to be looking to you with respect. Hell no.
Hell to the no.
Hell no. You know, persons need to understand. A lot of times, even adults, you know, sometimes we make joke about it when it comes to the way in which they walk around and believe that they are in a certain grouping that may get them some respect at that level. And we look at it and we say, you know, if they only know the life that is waiting on them, if they only know the real challenges in life. And we have to have a system in place that we deal with it. I want to specifically mention one particular thing when it comes to the schools. The school systems as is, it's failing miserably in one particular thing. And I'm not casting blame on anybody. Let me just say, when it comes to things like these, all hands on deck. All hands on deck is needed to address these issues. And that's my only attitude to it. The school systems are in desperate needs of having counselors at every single school. Desperately needed. Counselors at every single school. You would not believe that the family system that some of these children come from when they leave and they come to that school gate. And you cannot expect at any point in time they all function at the same level.
Well, the teachers have always been all of those things. You know?
The teachers are always left.
The father, the mother,
the teachers are always left to do everything. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. You need experts, especially now. You need experts to be in there actually guiding students and guiding not only the boys and girls, and that is everybody is in desperate need of aid right about now. It's not okay for your children to be going on the internet and looking at all the indoctrinations of negativity, gun use and violence throughout the world, and then they're sitting there, you don't know what's going on in their mind. Be more involved. parents, I plead with you to be more involved, have the conversation, make sure that you understand the challenges that your children are facing, and be your brother's keeper. Look out for the children in the neighborhood.
I don't know if you talked about it, but one would hope that that air gun that was in that bag wasn't put by a parent, because one of the simplest things you could do is just check your children's bag. They come home, they go to school, check their bags, check their bags. As young as they are, they might be trying to put a little toy in that bag, go to school, they're distracted, put a video game in their bag, something like that, right?
But that's right? Assuming that the child is coming from a home in which a parent is there, right? Because I want to, I have, when it comes to schools and students, I have, and you yourself, but at a different level, have had the opportunity to teach, mentor students at that level. And one of the things that was most startling to me when I was a teacher is that we had children coming to the school. I was teaching a girl, I was teaching third form, to be exact. And there was a girl in third form. She had a brother in first form. And they were coming to school. And they come to school every single day. And I keep wondering, why is it when I call parent-teacher meeting, they're not coming. I was brand new to the system, and I was having consistent meetings with parents, one-on-one, because I want to get a good understanding of what the child is doing and all of that. And when I got down to it, I sat down with that child, I realized that the parent was not in the home. This child in third form is the parent in the home. This child in third form was the parent to herself and her brother, because her mother was forced to go into the interior to work, and the father and the mother in the interior, and she was the parent. And then when you realize the amount of time that situation repeats itself, it's ridiculous.
Correct.
Right? So there's a lot of children out there acting like
a lot
adults
of challenges,
because they have adult responsibilities when they leave the sanctity of that schoolyard. But it is not okay for us, for that protection and the security of a school compound to be infiltrated by gangs. No, we will break it up. We have to break it up. It is our responsibility as adults
our children
to break it up, break up any resemblance of a gang, whatsoever affiliation thereof, right? And whomever is sending drugs into the school, lock them the hell up. Children don't go out there and get drugs. They don't have the mechanism in place to actually get those things into a country and all of that. Adults are doing those things, get drugs in the school. Then you say, oh, the children bringing drugs in the school. That is not the source of the problem. Address the source of the problem. Oh, the child carry an air gun. Where did this air gun come from? Where did this air gun come from? That's the bigger question. So very, very, very serious matter there for us to discuss. And I know as a parent, I feel very passionate about these particular issues.
Yep. Pushing ahead.
Continue, my dear.
What was in the morning paper?
Well, we're looking at Kanu, and Kanu seizes the $8 million worth of cannabis during the Hope Bridge operation.
Yep.
Right.
A lot of cannabis.
Well, we've been talking about drugs and all of that. Well, every time I read about the seizure of cannabis, I go back to the fact that none other than Irfan Ali said he was going to be having a meeting with the marijuana farmers because they're the experts.
Maybe
right?
The testing here. We start the testing. But interestingly enough, you're talking about the previous case.
The temperature of tea.
You're talking about the students.
Yes.
Now, if cannabis gets into school, it's not students shipping 8 million
That's
in
what
cannabis.
I'm saying. That's what
it comes from somewhere. It comes from somewhere, right? Who bringing in the air guns? Who bringing in the guns in general?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And commend the police for doing what they got to do.
We have to wise up young people when it comes to the fact that they are being influenced and taking blame for a wider scope of things with people who are believe that they're above the law. We're not going to give up on them. That's my job, not to give up on young people, period.
Yep. What else we dealing with this morning?
Well, we can go directly to the international front and what is transpiring on the international front, guys. As we are there, Shard is going to be taking you through our morning brew.
Giving me all the heavy lifting. It's interesting.
He looks strong this morning.
There was a January 6th hearings, January 6th committee that is engaged in hearings right now in the United States. And this is interesting from a number of standpoints. I'm sorry we don't have some video, because this has to do with the insurrection. If you remember that, folks, sometimes these issues tend to get away from us a little bit. And they said there these hearings, some became very teary-eyed and broke down and so on because of the memories of that insurrection, the memories of that insurrection. You understand what happened at Capitol Hill?
Yes.
Right, in the United States. But while we recognize the trauma of that, we had our own insurrection here at GCOM in Hatfield Street.
That is correct.
That took me back to instantly when I saw the headline. I remember the folks there at GCOM in Hatfield Street. People who made an assault on that building in Hatfield Street, walking through different offices, opening documents, opening file cabinets, and that kind of stuff.
Some of them were known criminals, arrested thereafter and all of that.
It was quite interesting to see the staff there at GCOM under duress. People in that building shouting down. So we had our own insurrection right here. But you see, some folks look at it differently. Right? In the US, Donald Trump would call them freedom fighters, fighting for democracy, because they believe that the ballots were stolen. But I think it is well established that was an insurrection. There was somebody shot in an assault on Capitol Hill. Right? And all of that was instigated by a president, just like here. Just like here, that hooliganism that we saw.
Hooliganism, that's what it is.
In Hatfield Street was instigated by them boys.
We need to address the problem, We need to address the problem. And I see one of our viewers just messaged me through my WhatsApp actually to say that to just bring this bit of info, and I think it's absolutely necessary for us to bring it out at this point in time, saying that the children at the secondary school is calling the gang in the school the Ratty Gang. That is the name of the gang.
Wow.
Ratty Gang. And if persons could, if you would remember, this is the same name of the King character.
But it was the Ratty Gang who was at Hatfield Street too.
That is correct. And the children there are calling the gang the Ratty Gang. And if you would remember the words for the song, I think you were just saying it,
100 strap, Molly get pop.
100 strap, Molly get pop. But listen, we are going to strap it out and pop it out of our school systems and out of the minds of our young people.
Yeah, we got to do.
That is our responsibility.
That's what we got to do. Yep. Yeah? So again, in similar fashion, that was the Ratty Gang who organized that assault on GCOM Hatfield Street. That was the Ratty Gang. Right? And they've done much worse since then. Much worse since then. In no other country in the world would there be allowances for that. People to storm GCOM and holding the chief election officer too, on the Jewish shouting in his face and all of that. We got to reflect on our own insurrection here.
That is correct.
Our own insurrection. Don't let us pretend it didn't happen, because it happened. Who knows what else went on there? You remember the reason why I ended up the court step? Because I was talking about the fella at GCOM that fetched out a whole server. This is recorded in a police report. He fetched out the whole servers with the SOPs, and then folks come asking us for SOPs. Ask the fella at GCOM who fetched it, and he said he put it in his car because I think there was a bomb scare or something like that happening at GCOM. One of the many things Ratty Gang organized. There was a bomb scare. He fetched out the whole service. He had it in his car up the road. You understand what happened here? You understand how brazen Ratty Gang is? They got the nerve asking us when they fell off, fetch out the whole server. Can you imagine that in a country? Right? But me, I don't know about that. Rav Gonzalez don't know how this fellow fetched out a whole server, from GCOM. You see, he had it in his. I'm going to pull up the report because we had posted it on social media.
Yeah, the report is there, and I think that there was some circulating video footages also with similar, if not the same incident.
You think it's one thing happened during the election?
Yep.
You think it's one thing happened? And in our podcast, it's a Tuesday, we do lest we forget, or lest we forget. Sorry. Lest we forget, we're going to be touching back on those issues. A whole server a man fetch out with the SOPs in it. And that has never bothered the PPP. I wonder why.
Never.
And he was gone for about 2 or 4 hours. All right. You know, when I saw the day after I was talking about that on our affiliate program In the Ring, is the day I was arrested. The day after that, I thought it was pertaining to that.
Wow.
Right? I thought it was pertaining, but you know why it wasn't pertaining to that? Because as I said, I was reading from a police report. A police report. You had to go make out a police report. I was reading from it, right? But from that whole show, he vexed because he think I call you a jackabat and a trench crapper. He has contradicted nothing I've said on the program. He vexed because he think I call you. He's alleging I call him a trench crapper and a jackabat. Now that he fetched out the whole server, went for hours in the car. He went up the road. It's all it's captured in the report. They said when they accosted him in GCOM, Myers was there. I think the chief elections officer was there, and also the one who swing. And they were asking him, who instructed you to do that? He said, no, he just took it upon himself. To fetch out the servers, the server with the SOPs. He went up the road and
we have to do. I think we owe it to the people to do a recap of what transpired.
So when I see this Jagabat talking about the father of them, Papa, when I see you talking about SOPs, when you bring your SOPs, ask the fella. We don't know what come back on that thing. I remember we had the Russians here around the same time. We don't know what come back on the server. Right? A man can be allowed to fetch a whole server from GCOM.
I think one of the things that I just want to underscore.
Insurrection.
I just want to underscore the point right now that when it comes to tech, sometimes, with all you're saying about the server and all of that, we have to make sure that our listeners are extremely aware of the vast amount of things that can be done with that, and when you're talking about the server system, that's the whole mechanism was stored there. Every bit of information and all of that was on that piece of equipment that was just taken out. And it is, guys, you will not believe the technological advancement. Some of you, I know, I see Warren Figueroa there in the comment section. I know Warren is very tech savvy, and a lot of what he does pertains to tech. So he would have an acute understanding of everything, how dangerous it is, and how exposed that whole system was at the time because of that one action. So it is very, very. We have a lot to say about that, but I have to say that we have to go back. I think we need to dedicate several programs in bringing back a lot of the information, especially because the administration and the mischievous ones at the very helm of it always come back to, oh, where's the SOPs and where is that? They're sitting in office on account of a SOR, a statement of recount, and they are asking about the SOP. And those are things we need to dismantle and disarm them of that privilege. They're not sitting in there because of SOPs. They're sitting on there on SORs. That's the first thing. The SORs that came hand in hand with the ORs, which are the observation reports, things that they want to burn and bury and make sure that the Guyanese people never see it. All right. So let's not get into that bit, because I've personally went day in, day out into that system, and I know from the depth of it what it entails, and I say that it will never happen again.
Yep. And we're gonna be following up on that.
Yep, definitely.
Right, we're gonna be following up on that. I was trying to see if I can pull it up quickly, but it was quite interesting, and I know because a lot of people seem very surprised by that. That was actually the content of a police report. Actually, content of a police report, and then here we are, people confronting us about this. They got enough.
Yeah.
Really, really got enough. What else happening on that front there, guys? There was, believe it or not, on the regional front, as we draw closer to home, on the regional front in Guadeloupe, there was a 4.6.
4.6 magnitude, yes.
Magnitude on the Richter scale, 4.6 magnitude in Guadeloupe.
That is correct. It says magnitude 4.6 earthquake was recorded near Guadeloupe this morning in the UWI, the research center. It said that it occurred at 8:54 a.m. local time at the depth of 86 kilometers. A very, very serious, earthquake. This is not something that we have to deal with. And whenever we have tremors, we get so scared here. But there are very serious concerns, and a warning has actually gone out there right now. So we need to be monitoring this excessively right now. I think the earthquake struck, as it's saying, and we're even hearing reports coming out of Dominica and also Antigua and Barbuda. So we'll be monitoring this as the day progresses, and hopefully, we're not going to be having to report anything worse.
Very well.
As the day progresses.
Very well. That's what's happening on that front. I know our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Guadeloupe there. Of course, nobody wants to, be in such a situation. But we got a lot to be thankful for living in this country. We're not susceptible to all. I mean, sometimes you feel one or two things, but nothing to be compared to that.
Yeah.
By any means. But coming close to home, guys, we're following this story here. Very sad news with this young lady from Peroni.
Oh my goodness.
Peroni back down, Peroni landing. Twitter?
Yeah, it's as like Shada saying it, the local news, we're seeing it right there right now, and we're seeing Miriam Edwards raped, robbed, and strangled at Peroni back dam. Raped, robbed, and strangled to death there at Peroni back dam. Guys, let me tell you, Peroni is Region 7. Peroni is in the interior location in Region 7, and we have been getting quite a number of reports that are coming out of Peroni as to what is going on there. This particular situation being hitting everyone extremely difficult. This is extremely hard pill for anyone to swallow at this point in time. That a young woman and young life snatched away just like that, and you think that you have seen it all, and then things just come out and just happen. The most ridiculous things ever happened. I want to give some context to this, because, like I said, this discussion that we're having, we bring the context into it, and particularly when it comes to what is going on in the interior location right now. Once I'm Bartitian. That's who I am. That's my home and everything. So when it comes to persons working in the interior, in the hinterland, in Peroni, a landing, and those things, very familiar. There's rarely a Bartitian that you can find that don't know somebody in that area. The reports, and I'm saying that to say that I get as credible as the information can get. The reports are coming out of Peroni. It's a very dangerous and damaging altogether. That is, the reports are that right now, like there is even reports of another gang that is being operating in the area. Usually persons back in the days, a couple of years ago, everyone in the interior is going there to work. The reports are that there's a particular gang up there of persons that don't even intend to work, persons that leave the coastline to go up in the interior to do crime up there, right?
That's working.
And robbing folks and all of that. When it comes to law enforcement in the interior, I know it over the past 5-6 years, it probably have gotten more of a presence, a little more presence of law enforcement in those locations. However, it is in dire need of consistent monitoring by the authorities to make sure that these things don't happen. The bush law, as they call it, the law up there is way different. Things happen way differently there. Persons' access to guns and all of those things are most ridiculous in these locations. But when it comes to women and abuse of women, it is rampant in these outlying locations. And this report, this female cook there murdered, Miriam Edwards.
Rape, robbed, and murdered.
Very, very, very sad. Very, very sad situation altogether there. I see that I believe 2 persons were arrested and brought down out of the interior. but the issue is one that is large, and it needs to be addressed frontally when it comes to the breakdown of law and order in these locations. It cannot be something that we tolerate at any point in time. It's a huge issue. Huge issue. And for all of you out there that have relatives that go in search of this El Dorado and gold altogether, gold and diamond mining and all of those things in interior locations, I implore, be extremely careful. Be extremely careful. Young women that is going up there, cooks, whatever. Be extremely careful. Never be alone. And these things are extremely important things.
And talking about that, on that very same front, this is what we're following. There's a young lady who is missing. Karen Felix. She's missing after leaving a friend's home in a taxi quite recently. And I think this is right right here in Georgetown. If the notation here is right, let's double check it quickly and see. But missing as well. West Coast. West Coast.
West Coast,
Make sure we get the area right. So she's missing, guys. If you see her, please, nearest police station, draw that to the attention of the authorities. Karen Felix.
Well, it's 25 years, and I have to say that at no point in time, when I see missing reports out, and guys, whoever you are, been following this program from the beginning, you would know that when it comes to missing persons report, I don't want to hear any speculation as to where people are and all of that. When they are found, let us sort out the details of where they were and how they got there. But as it is, when you see a missing person reporter, it should be everyone out there keeping an eye out to make sure that this is resolved, because you don't know the details of the matter. Let us not assume ever the details of these missing person reports. A missing person report for me is an extremely important thing for everybody to follow. I believe that when it comes to on the age, and I make the point, we should have a system as the Amber Alert system, that everyone and all mechanisms are go when a child is missing and all of that. You see the young woman missing here, 25 years old. When someone is missing, is because they consistently communicate with others on a regular basis, and then that comes to an abrupt stop. So worry is there, and it's our responsibility as a community to be humane and go out and lend assistance and voices. If anyone knows where the young woman is, just make that report so that there can be some kind of answers given to the situation, and hopefully she is safe and well and will be home. So
correct, guys. Be safe out there. We were saying the same thing on our affiliate program last year. Be safe, ladies, out there. It's a wild world. It's rough outside. Be safe. Be vigilant.
And let's not trust. Women. As women, let me say, I have to say, as women, let us not be so trusting so easily. I think that a lot of times, women, as a woman myself, we trust people too easily and too quickly. And let's go back to like the Percy Sledge words. Take time to know people and all of that. It's not, you don't know somebody overnight. You have to take time to get to learn who that person is and what they're going to bring, whatever background they're coming with, and the tons of baggages that they may be dragging along as well. So take time before you trust people to be in your space, and for you to be alone in their space and all of that. So I'm just putting out a warning there. The integration of the world that we talk about so very often, the integration of the world is exposing each and every one of us to dangerous people, meeting people online, becoming friendly, messaging back and forth and all of that. And you don't know if this is a criminal you're messaging, and as it is right now in the Guyana system, you don't know if you're messaging somebody in Camp Street lockup or up at the, what they call it?
Masroni, Lusignan.
No, there's a word that the swamp. The swamp. Lusignan is referred to as the swamp, right? Yep. You don't know if you're messaging somebody at a swamp.
Correct.
Because everybody have access there.
We want to see this young lady return safely. So guys, keep your eyes out. If you've seen her anywhere, please report it to your nearest police station. You have that duty imposed on you by law. Report it as quickly as you can. If you've seen her anywhere, you know where she is, please. We want to get her home back to her family safely.
Yeah, and more importantly, if she is safe and she is viewing this program, or anyone can point her in the direction of this program, they probably know where she is. I would make a personal plea for her to just let your family know, if you can, let your family know that you're okay. In the meantime, they will be worried and they will keep on looking for you.
Yeah, correct. So the mayor of Georgetown was in our podcast, I think it was about a day or two ago, responding to some of these comments that were issued by the Prime Minister, who was waded into city affairs.
But I made my comments on that.
Talking about drainage and irrigation and all that. And the mayor minced no words with the Prime Minister, called him out and said, go beyond talk, come and help us. I think he's shamed. And he actually reached out to City Hall. And that's something that we're following. That's something that's brewing this morning. And we see that the city is to get some more staff for drainage pumps.
Wow.
After meeting with the
So he knew that they didn't have enough?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's going to cost out. And then you remember the three-step.
Yes, he knew that there was
the PPP three-step. You draw a circle around the problem. If you get enough public pressure, it's going to rub it out. If more pressure, right? Pressure, crabman pressure. Then it's going to fix the problem. The three-step works every time. That's what they know for. The three-step. Right? So he met with them and being made to understand. Thanks for some reporting out of Starbuck News that City Hall is going to get some more additional staff to be able to man those pumps. And it's not about politics. And I don't see the mayor saying, don't go and walk the pumps in the whole city flood. Unlike Kelvin Lal, their former local government minister. Unlike Kelvin Lal. Because it was Kelvin Lal who said, because they weren't having their way with City Hall to control, they can't control and destroy. They weren't having their way. He said, hope a pandemic unleash on Georgetown. Right? And then they're going to see we got the best ideas. Starbuck News was picking up on this issue here with the government's interaction with City Hall. Folks, recommended reading this morning, Starbuck News editorial. Right? Starbuck News went back and showed since the PPP went in 94, they had no interest in the city. And all of their, all of their engagement with the city, their overtures to the city has been hostile because they can't control it. Right? And the one thing they ever did when they could do it was to install IMC. Because that's what they're known for. So here's our Starbuck News this morning again. Picking up on this issue, the header for the editorial is recalibration. And in this editorial, treating our lovely listeners, Starbuck News is saying, if based on what the Prime Minister was saying, right, and that he's laying down the gauntlet, and if City Hall don't do this, we're not going to do because he's backed by Mark Phillips, of course, right? He said, the Starbuck News says, if this represents a veiled threat, it is not acceptable. And as far as the mayor playing political games, the Prime Minister has certainly got things in reverse. The Prime Minister has got things in reverse. If the Prime Minister thinks that it's the mayor who playing political games, because that was one of his charges.
Correct.
It is the central government which has the money and the power and which has been playing political games with the municipality for decades. This is not up-no talk, It's not Comrade Norton. It's not Comrade Lawrence. It's not any one of them. It's Starbuck News saying the PPP. Starbuck News saying the trench crapo and the jacobats playing political games with City Hall for decades. Finally concluding, there is no evidence that it has any transformative plans for Georgetown. That comes bitter. There is no evidence that the PPP has any transformative plans for Georgetown other than to secure control of the municipalities. I know some of you are going to take this like a bitter pill this morning. If it can't do that, then it will seek to undermine the mayor and city councillors as it has traditionally done. This is Starbuck News this morning. Required reading.
You sure, Starbuck?
Stabrook, SN in Rob Street, Robin Camp, you ding dong, sir? Yes, there's them boys, Robin Camp Street. This is the nature of the PPP. If they can't control, they mash up. Right? They mash the thing up.
But I want to add.
Go right,
add to that because
I can take a sip of tea in the meantime.
because they're saying there that they're only going to be interested if they can take control. And if they can't get control, then they're basically not going to do anything, and they're going to leave. They're going to leave the mayor and city council to basically suffer. I want to qualify that a little bit more by saying that it's not just control. They just don't want control overarching. They want control of the resources and where the resources are directed. Right? And we need to remove any idea, perception that anybody may have that they're concerned about controlling who benefits as it pertains to the people and which community and all of that. They don't want control as it pertains to, there are poor people living here. How do we address this situation? There are crime being reported in this community. How do we go and fix it? They're not interested in having control to make those decisions. The control that they're interested in is the control that, X amount of money was budgeted to be spent within this location, and we want to control who gets the contracts to do whatever. So when the substandard works and all of those things are being carried out, they're going to say, look, is the mayor and city councils in charge of this area, and look what they're doing. They want control of resources. Let me just not say resources. They want control as to where the money is being directed. That is their overarching issue.
Correct.
Then they're going to go and make a big cry, and I kid you not, you can go and you can fact check me. You can go check it in the future. Whenever you see they go and they start to make some noise about something, it's because they have resources, they have money to direct to fixing that issue, and they want to give you the impression that the people that were elected for Region 4, by the people living in Region 4, that they have not their best interests at heart. So they want to say that they have to come in now and they have to fix it. What they're doing is trying to direct the money to their selected set of persons, and they do not want it to be passed through the system, the democratic system of enabling everyone to benefit from the resources as the people have elected them to determine. All right, so it's never about when we say control, let's not give this impression that they want to be dealing with everybody and everybody's issue. They don't want that.
No, they don't want that.
They want to be dealing with where the money goes.
Why would they want that?
That is the fact.
Why would they want? We got a special person stopping by.
Yes, well, I did say we're gonna have a special guest in this morning for a little bit.
Right. But respect and manners.
Yes, most definitely.
Rock and come in.
Yes.
All are welcome.
We always how we are.
We always pull up an extra chair or two.
We're gonna have our guest.
Rock and come in
this morning.
Because the other story is an interesting story as well. Because I'm sure lots of you out there believe in a higher power, right? A lot of you believed in a higher power. Elizabeth Narain and Nadia Ramni and so on. This other story. When the father they say must live, that's it, When the father they say yes, nobody can say no. Right? And that's how we exist in this country, It's not because them boys like me over there. Because the father says.
I saw Volme Wilson.
We talk about that in a second. Interesting story.
Volme Wilson in a little bit. Hey, Volme Wilson, how are you?
So
this morning.
Sukshan Sudhari, good to see you as well. Samoa Williams, good to see you. Folks, share. Smash. Smash Daddy Bushman. See, Judith's gotten so accustomed to me now, she's not even flinching. And she's like, what's the disturbance over so?
I've been taught to ignore these these prompts.
We're gonna make a quick switch. Rock and come in. We can make a little noise, folks. Was that too loud? Some people can't even invite them one time, they want to come back steady. But we welcome them nonetheless. Rock and come in. We welcome them nonetheless. Right? We ain't gonna make a fuss.
That's how Sherry usually gives my intro to the podcast. So I just started to introduce myself to the podcast. So when he said, they don't want to.
One time
she doesn't want to go home.
But I got away, right? I got away. I tell you, I don't cook a lot, but when I cook, that's why I don't cook a lot in the first place. People don't want to go home.
Oh wow!
Right?
Probably that's why I don't cook.
When I cook, people don't go. I started when my wife and I started dating. That's the thing, One time she come, she tastes me hand, she never went home back. Never went home back. Somebody else. So folks, look who showed up. Can I invite some people by your house, watch? That was there.
Hey, good morning, guys.
We would think of introduce you now.
Again.
Yes.
We would think, why do you wear color like me? What's so
I don't understand. I didn't get a memo.
It's me with this.
I didn't get a memo.
It's a band.
Oh, thank you so much.
Dressed up.
Yes. Some days I try to push in some extras. I can't get shared stealing the show in the mornings,
I think you dressed up because I was gonna stop by.
You see,
you look fine too.
Yeah,
sure.
You look fine.
It's good to be here.
You look fine and thick at the same time.
Quite interesting conversation this morning.
You come at the right time.
Yes.
Come at the right time. Welcome.
Yes.
Save the day, Kamal, all together. You're
Mm-hmm.
saving the day right now.
So, Kamal, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
Good to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Happy to see you. Welcome.
Happy to see you too.
So we're gonna have a Bartica takeover this morning. Once
Yet
again.
again.
This is what
so
we
happy.
do.
So happy to have you. Kamal, how's Bartica doing? How's Bartica doing?
Well, Bartica is doing just as well as any other part of the country. We're
more
dealing
beautiful.
with the yes, Bartica is naturally beautiful, but we're dealing with the high cost of living and so forth. So I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm a realist. So whenever I come on these shows, I have to let the people know exactly what is happening. You can't sugarcoat everything,
Correct.
So the people of Bartica, they're facing the blunt of the high cost of living and everything that is happening. But we're resilient. We're quite a resilient people and very improvised set of people. So you find that people are diversifying and finding ways and means. But Bartica enjoys the specific characteristics that I don't think you can find in any other part of Guyana, where we're a safer community, we're close-knitted. We do have our challenges. So, but Bartica, myself and Joretta from Bartica, what else? What else do you need to know?
Don
Good morning to my
welcome
fellow
back.
Barticians.
Don Solon says, welcome back, Kamal.
Thank you all. Good morning to all my fellow Barticians and everyone tuned in. I can see Roxanne Garraway is tuned in, and
Roxanne's a regular.
Yes.
Roxanne's a regular on this program. She's always
quite a lovely lady as well.
Yeah, an original member of the FYI.
So good morning
family.
to you and your family. Her husband happened to be my very good friend.
Oh, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm happy Kamal is here because one of the things we've been talking about on this program consistently is the fact that people should use the roadways very carefully, and that's one of the pandemics we always see here. You got domestic violence is the other one we're trying to grapple with here. We see slow down, especially as we head into the weekend, guys. Slow down and arrive alive. That's one of the stories we are following this morning, and this is out of Essequibo. This guy swerved, was going around a turn, they say, a very sharp turn, and swerved to prevent the car from toppling over. I don't know how fast he was going. Lost control of the vehicle, and in that process, a baby that was in the vehicle was flung through the window and survives.
Oh, thank God for that.
And survives. That's why I was saying just now, if you don't believe in a higher power, they got somebody up there looking out for you.
Yes.
Especially
babies, particularly, they're protected by the higher power. But talking about what is happening across Guyana, all the roads, it's happening in Bartica too, and everywhere that I travel to. I think the craziness that you see happening on the road, I want to say that people have a responsibility to secure themselves and use the road in the right manner. But when you have a system that is so broken and so corrupt, where somebody can obtain a driver's license or even use the road without driver's license and get free passes and doing things, then you would have these things reoccurring. We go to other countries and we don't see the recklessness like in our country.
Correct.
And our country has a small population. I am certain that once things are done the proper way, once proper systems are put in place, I am sure that Guyana can become one of the most admired when it comes to how we do business, how we use our roads, how we treat our women and everything. But when you have a breakdown, like I was saying to you in another conversation from the top, you don't have across the board standard. You'd have a justice system that sometimes does not serve justice.
Yeah.
So you would find that this is happening, but it's crazy out there in the roadways. It really is frustrating to drive in Georgetown. Getting here, quite a challenge. And then when you have working and not working traffic lights, the inconsistencies, then you have traffic cops all along the roadway doing different things. So you find
Kamal says doing different things.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I
see
it. Two things on
you
that.
See it so lightly.
One, about a week or two back, there was a story out there that there were at least 3 persons from GRA that were held for selling fake licenses.
Wow.
So there is one, you're just talking about, people buying licenses and all that. There's that.
Well, we Guyanese, and we know what happens. We cannot pretend like this isn't happening. And then you have, of course, more and more people having vehicles and roads not being built adequately enough to take off the traffic.
Yeah.
In Bartica, for example, there's hardly space for 2 vehicles to pass on one road and also have a motorcyclist or pedestrians or children walking from school. And every time you have repairs being done to the road, it's not being done visionarily, like, they improve, widen the roads, make it adequate. Bartica being a mining community where you have large trucks traversing with fuel and all of that, and then you have the roads that are built that just not adequate. It's no longer the donkey carts and the wheelbarrow like back in the 80s, 90s. You have very heavy vehicles, so you find that the roads are being destroyed very easily.
Correct.
So we have to go back to the drawing board. People making these decisions and having these works qualify pass. We have to have higher standards. We cannot keep doing things like that when we have a growing country. Correct. It is naturally that our country is growing in terms of everything that is happening. You see private people are developing this country to a great extent.
I'm very happy to hear you say that, because when you talk about the roads, for instance, I saw Pastor Nigel London was pointing out some of the roads that are recently built in Linden 2 weeks ago and already deteriorating. When you point out the traffic lights, there's a current refrain in this regime. Where were you, during the protracted period? Did you say anything about that? Did you write a letter to the papers where to get anything done?
Yeah, what a waste of taxpayers' money too when you got to keep doing. But that's the times, and that's how money gets into the pocket of a particular set of people. So Guyana continues to bleed, and taxpayers' dollars continue to be spent unwisely because in Bartica it's happening. You see a road being maintained to some extent, and within a couple of months it's back to the same condition that it was in, and it's disheartening because
particularly
the people of Bartica deserve
areas.
A better standard of living in terms of water, roads, or electricity problem. That has been mostly something of the past. Under the APNU AFC government, we were blessed to have a brand new power station. So our blackouts are something more than likely of the past. You do get from time to time for short periods for whatever reason, but thank God that was a problem that was fixed in a very short space of time. But we need to continue to build and build better and build standard. Like Coming from Perica, I noticed that there is a project somewhere along the seawall there. And when I look at it, beautification is nice and welcome, and I applaud beautification projects. But then when you see the type of lights that are being used, they're like for domestic purposes, not for commercial or for, for the
industrial purposes, you may think.
And then you have a bridge that is being built, and it looks like a private bridge. And this is an area that would accommodate hundreds of people. But the bridge is probably no wider than 3-4 feet in my estimation. We need to think wider, broader, more visionary. You're going to spend money to develop areas. Do it to a standard that we can all as Guyanese be proud of. This isn't all about politics. It's how you spend the taxpayers' money and what is being done and getting quality work for the money being spent. When you hear how much millions spent on a project, and when you look at it, it's disheartening. We gotta demand better as Guyanese. And it's sad to say that certain section of our population, when you encourage and you applaud the poor standard that is given to you, you encourage it. So that's just my little take on that.
A lot of stuff happening, and again, when you try to bring some guidance, where you went, and where they're now, and all kinds of. We just got to fix some problems. Because, we were talking.
They attack the messenger and not the message.
Correct. You're talking about power.
And we need to unite as Guyanese and say that there is resources. We demand that our resources be utilized in a manner where all Guyanese can benefit and can be proud of.
That's what it's coming to.
Across the communities too. Not while you develop some communities, some are left behind. That is not progress to any right-minded thinking Guyanese. And even visitors coming to Guyana, they recognize the challenges. Last week I had my cousin's daughter, who's just 7, I think, and she was already complaining to me, why are all the street lights broken? She wanted me to do a video and to share it. She wanted to talk about what's happening, how the drivers are using the road. It's there on my Facebook page. Maybe you should look at it, and it just says that a child coming to Guyana and just being here for just a few days can recognize the great challenges Guyanese face
daily, every single day.
And that contributes to our mental health, because at the end of me driving in the city, it's frustrating. You don't even want to talk to people because you just got to recuperate from that experience. Every turn you make, somebody trying to run you off the road. It gets that crazy. On the overtake, the authorities need to have a more comprehensive approach to tackle these issues.
That is correct. I couldn't agree more. Nothing more for me to add to that, because we have been consistently speaking about it, and Kamal put it over so nicely also.
One of the stories we shared here a couple of weeks back is the fact that we were examining a country that hadn't seen blackout in 25, 30 years. Wouldn't that be a good place to be? But you see, if you have a system like that operating so efficiently, you don't need handouts from these boys.
Yes.
True. You don't need to see these boys. Right?
But you see, the power lies in the people, Shara. The power lies in the people. And every time you have major issues that are being ventilated and Guyanese coming together to fight against it and demand better, you have another a set of people who say, well, it was this way back then, and it was this way back then. And how can we move forward if we cannot, as Guyanese, say we demand better? Blackouts should be something of the past. A country like Guyana, filled with so much resources, and we're boasting of how our economy is growing and all of that, and how many hotels and what is poised to be for our nation. And we cannot tackle decades after decades. We cannot resolve something as simple as having adequate power supply, consistent, effective power supply. And that says a lot about the people that are placed to make
Square
these
pegs and round holes.
decisions and to resolve these problems. We don't just vote for politicians. We vote for people that are competent and that would work to ensure that the Guyanese people a better delivery of services to the Guyanese people.
Correct.
That is correct. That is correct.
Correct. And these are the challenges that we face and that we got to solve. Against blaming and so on, we got to solve. As we wrap up, one of the things I remember a few years ago is visiting with my relatives in the US, and where they live, they have a similar population size to Georgetown. And I was fascinated when I was asking them, like, what's the name of the mayor here? It was Junie White, but they didn't know who was the mayor because the systems run so efficiently.
It's different.
It's even a concern to them. The garbage is picked up on time. The trees are trimmed. When that time is ready, your services, are efficient, right? And instead of abusing them, right? What the Prime Minister did recently, could have gone quietly and say, how could I help?
Rather than fight each other, we need to work together. And when we see that good is being done and the right things are being done, we will have a different mantra rather than. But our responsibility is to hold whoever is there accountable and to demand that we get better. We are the younger generation. Sometimes I say to people quite boldly and frankly, I don't want to hear any more about when I wasn't even born. How can we, in our personal lives, we say we cannot move forward if we keep looking backward. And if we keep saying that, well, that one had done this and that one had done that. And we are voting for people, we are putting and empowering people in positions that are neglecting us, that are letting us down, that are embarrassing us nationally. And we are okay with that? No, it cannot continue like that. We have to change the mindset of people. And also they are a great section of society who just don't care about what ethnic group is in power or so forth once the work is being done. And just yesterday, we have so much listening to you every day, and there is so much that we can complain about. It is so disheartening because it really says where we are as a nation, how troubling it is. Listening to you talk this morning about what is happening to our women, what is happening in the hinterland regions. Just yesterday, what is happening across the board in the school system and the roads and everything you can talk about. Quite disheartening and embarrassing. We should be here saying, well, we're proud to see this is happening. Young people are getting lots of opportunities. You see the hype on social media and so forth. If I go into my inbox now, literally every day you have some person in my inbox or on my WhatsApp or even calling me. Kamal, can you help me get a job? Can you help me? I'm a single mother. I'm in an abusive relationship. I have rent to pay. I walked away from the relationship. I can't maintain my kids. I'm trying to get a job. I'm not getting a job. And the list just goes on. And the other aspect of it is that people, because of the standard that was set, people think you can just click your finger like this and get favors done for them. People are looking for a land to build. Come on, help me. Or they want a gun license, and that is because what they grow up
lawlessness
and knowing.
It's a society of bribery and all of that. Some people born and raised in a system that they have been taught that this is the way in which you get things done, by passing money on the table, by giving somebody a cut. And all that's why when a little child growing up knows that 20-year-olds in this country, 25 years, believe that is the correct system because that's all they know from birth. That the police stop you when you're giving them your license, you put something between it and you hand it to them. It's like a system of corruption that is
Different
embedded in our
standards.
society.
Yeah, different standards.
It's crazy. You have to confront it. We have to. Unfortunately, that's our time. Unfortunately, that's our time. You know, it's always a pleasure to have Kamal here with us. Kamal Passad, the none other than vice chairman of region number 7. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, and we invite you to be here some more so that we can have this discussion.
So, when we get the helicopter working.
Definitely.
It's good to be here, and it's good to be able to say to the people of Guyana and all those abroad that are tuned in to, hold the faith. We got to keep praying for our nation. Guyana is a beautiful country. Guyana is a blessed country. The people of Guyana deserves a higher quality of life. We have the resources for that, and we have to be wise and ensure that when we make decisions thinking about our future generations and how things will be done to benefit them. I was listening, and you recapped quite nicely what had happened at the 2020 elections and so forth. Elections have consequences. What happens have consequences. And the people of Guyana have to be very much vigilant and involved. You cannot have a list of voters list that supersedes the amount of voters or your population. And then you're going to say, you're going to get the best results. That alone spells trouble for you. That alone says what is under the sleeves of persons. And whoever is against having a cleansed list, having this bloated voters list, whoever is against it obviously benefits from it. I don't have to say much more than that. Common sense would tell you that. So moving forward, the people of Guyana have to stick together and demand that we have a true democracy where we have things that are done for the benefit of our children. And we, the people of Guyana, should benefit more than, I'm not saying that it's not okay to have others come and benefit, but it's quite disheartening when you see that Guyanese are being treated as second-class citizens. They can't get a plot of land just to have their family and live a comfortable life. Many of us do not want to leave our country. We're born here. Me, for instance, I love Bartica. I want to see Bartica develop. I want to see the future generations of Bartica enjoy the beauty and better services that Bartica can, and have better access to education and healthcare. So it is something that many of us want to happen, and that is why. Sometimes people ask, "But why do you do it? There's no benefit." It seems hopeless, but no, I believe there's hope, and we have to continue to inspire you, the people out there, to inspire others to demand better for our country.
Unlike I think it was Amanda that says, as a poet, that says that there is light if we are brave enough to see it, if we're brave enough to be it. So I think we can end on that note. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It is Friday. You're not going to be seeing us back on FYI until Monday morning. And so I'm wishing you all the best and have a fantastic weekend. We're heading out right now. Cheryl's going to be back with you for the podcast. I may or may not join. And then he's going to be back with you this evening in the ring at 8 p.m. Make sure that you partner with us, do your part. The platforms, as we say, we are available. Western Union, MoneyGram, we're on Zelle, we're on Cash App, we are on MMG. Am I missing any one of them? PayPal. We are on PayPal also. And if you have any difficulty in getting through to those platforms, just message us on WhatsApp 627-6963, and we'll be sure to send you a message and guide you as to how to move forward with that. Thank you so much for being here, the attentive audience that you always are. FYI family, thank you so much. Have an extremely blessed weekend.
Stay safe. Happy Friday, folks.
Stay safe, guys.
Bye.